Fun fact about the name Matt. Matt is Hebrew for a gift from God. That's a lot of pressure. Like, I'm living proof that it's a thought that counts. My dad first held me in his arms, looked at the doctor and said, "No refunds?" My parents told me for my 20th birthday that they almost put me up for adoption. That's dark. Like, I was one bad choice away from being re-gifted. It's not as bad as my little brother's name. His name's Chris. Chris is Hebrew for oops. My parents named me after the book in the Bible. Weak choice. They could have gone with like Deuteronomy or Leviticus. Like first day of school, yo, here's my son Leviticus. What's up? Yo, Leviticus, do the thing. Yo, I'm too Levit to quit. I taught him that before kindergarten. Like the proudest dad ever. Like walking down the hall, he's like, I run this place. This is my kindergarten now. I wish my parents had twins. They'd be like, this one's Corinthians 1, this one's Corinthians 2. Guess which one's our favorite? Neither, it's their firstborn, Genesis. That name's not biblical, I just came from a Sega family. Woo! That does not deserve an applause. But I'll take it, I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I got that. I finally passed that precipice in my comedy career. I was a rebellious kid, though, I really was. At the age of 14, I ran away from home and became a camp counselor, like a thug. Yeah. When I was a camp counselor at the age of 14, I had my very first roommate, which is a young age to have like a roommate for 3 months. And my first roommate ever was a Satanist. Dude was also 14. Like, he committed to being like considerably more rebellious than I was. I didn't know he was a Satanist right away. Like, I just walked in through and I was like, yeah, this is my bed now, and I was like down with it. But there were some signs that he was Satanist. Like he had a pet snake. Like, that's a bit off. Like, yeah, it was a camp, but dude, like, really liked pocket knives, you know? Like the gas station pocket knives that are, like, impractically big and, like, only last a week. I think the biggest dead giveaway with those, like, all the Fall Out Boy posters. Why is Fall Out Boy the choice band of young Satanists? Like, I feel bad for Fall Out Boy. Like, what happens when they die and, like, they go to heaven, you know? Like, the lead guitarist is sitting there and he's like, yo, hey, I lived to the long age of 80, which is great for a rocker, you know? I turned my life around. I became religious my old age. You know, I've done good deeds, I've prayed, I've done all that shit that I need to do. Let me in. And St. Peter's at the gate and he's like, you know how many emo 14-year-olds burn Bibles listening to your music? Like, I'm sorry, bud, but my psalms know what you did in the dark. And part of me just died. He sends him down to hell and like plays a sick-ass guitar riff on his way down. It's like, sorry, bud, guess guitar riff shouldn't have been so damn juicy. I wasn't just any other camp counselor, though. I was effectively a lifeguard. Which also something you shouldn't be allowed to do at the age of 14. Because like, I physically wasn't ready to save anyone. Like right now, I'm like a tall, gangly, weak man. When I was 14, I was just as tall and considerably weaker. Like the Red Cross's safety test you have to do is you have to swim out 10 feet, pick up a 5-pound brick, and then swim back. And they're like, yeah, you're good. Like you can definitely carry a fully grown, panicking 250-pound man. Don't speak the difference. Also, I was also like mentally unprepared to be a lifeguard. I remember I got the letter in the mail from my employer, opened it up, they read like, congratulations, you're a lifeguard. And the first words out of my mouth were, Mom, I gotta buy aviators. Like, I was determined I was gonna be the cool lifeguard that summer. I was like, yeah, just you wait and see. And I was on watch as a lifeguard, you're not like at all safe. Like, you're at a considerably higher risk from drowning. A, I probably couldn't rescue you unless you with less than a 5-pound brick. B, I was easily distracted, and 3, I myself was probably drowning, and all the women I was getting were in my sick-ass aviators! This is how I ended my set. Thanks for writing this set. I'm now ending on that, guys. as a 14-year-old lifeguard, though, I think my biggest issue I had when I was on watch was just trying not to get a boner. Which was an issue because it was a Boy Scout camp. You can't justify that shit, man. Oh, I'm sorry, it was my water bottle. A very fine water bottle indeed. I made one rescue that summer. One rescue. I will have you know I am a hero, okay? We had a swim test you had to have people do, and one kid passed it. This kid was a miracle. He was born without arms. True story, guys. Kid was born without arms. And he could swim, though. He could do like a butterfly motion, and it was really cool. Probably one of the best swimmers I've ever actually seen. But he was swimming the deep end of the pool one day, and someone pulled his legs. And when someone pulls your leg underwater, the way you get up is by doing this. And he couldn't do that. And so I'm in my chair, I'm like, oh no, this kid needs help. And I will never forget the look of terror on his eyes when I swam out, staring him in the eyes, and I said, kid, grab on.